He's going to find himself getting passed by multiple cars. I mentioned earlier on, so he's in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. Doesn't qualify as well as he races. Only
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
And I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately, isn't it? What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Oh, that Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll up the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pite's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pite going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's just like trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's all about the entertainment.
So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines up into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with a Radical Race Series SR10 Championship Round 6 live from Circuito de Navarra. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by Nico Hillebrand, who's going to come along and join us for this round. Track length 3.89 kilometers, just about 2.4 miles of circuit here for these drivers to contend with in Los Arcos in Spain. We're going to have 2 races for you. It's going to be a 9-lap sprint and then a 15-lap feature. Let's bring you up to date with the scores off the website as they are before this race. James Barry out in front on 187 with Simon Edwards on 185. Then you got George Gonzaga on 137. He's close to Josh Reed on 130. Mike Bousson on 127 with James McRitchie on 120. Then you got Paul Crabb, Jamie Bird, Paul LeMay and David Rolliston rounding out the top 10. Then below that is Seth Brown, Damien G, Dan Webster, Luke Maxwell is in there as well, Phil Glemmer, Robert Woodward, Michael LeMay, Graham Matthews, Darrell Taylor, Phil Jocelyn, David Beasley, Neb Smith, Chris Kane and Graham Brown rounding out the championship. Last time out at Belle Isle for round 5, which was the champion's pick, who of course is Mr. Simon Edwards. It was James Barry took the win with Edwards in 3rd in race number 1, and then Simon come back and won race number 2 with Josh Reed in 2nd and Luke Maxwell in 3rd. It's going to be very, very exciting going into this, and very, very interesting indeed on that one. Nico, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, thanks. How couldn't I be with this fantastic series on once again? It has been far too long since I was able to directly commentate on this. But yeah, also one hell of a track to come back to. Only opened in 2010, Circuito de Navarra. 3.933 kilometers or 2.444 miles with 15 wonderful corners in the northern Spanish countryside. And I think this will be very, very fun to watch in these amazing little sports cars.
Yeah, it should be absolutely amazing. These SR10s are something else. Some of these guys do race the SR8s on a Monday. We will go into qualifying very, very shortly on that one. A gang Kagar in YouTube chat. Thanks for that, I guess. Not really sure what that is about, but never mind. Thank you very much. Hope you are well on that one. So, yeah, welcome in. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all the other fancy chats that you can do for free here on the YouTube as well. It's been a very interesting circuit. Been to the likes of Alton Park, Spa, Zandvoort, Belle Isle. Lots of different places here, Nico. Brian Thatcher's been in there as well. We're off to Navarra this week. We're going to Algarve next week. Donington on week 8. Watkins Glen, Virginia International, Road America and Sebring. I'm not quite sure if they've got a week 13 at Interlagos. I've never seen a 12-week calendar with 13 weeks on it. But there we go. I'm sure these guys will get that sorted out as we are just going into qualifying. What do we think is going to happen here? Algarve is a funky circuit at times.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be an interesting race. In qualifying session as well, we saw that James Barry was a little bit back. You know, our current championship leader only 2 points in front of his rival, who was in 1st place so far in qualifying. So I think, as usual, we'll have some very good racing action. You see how, well, it's a little bit deceiving because it looks a little flat, but you can still see these subtle little angles here that we have, you know, the slight uphill, slight downhill, slightly off camber, and you know, even if it looks subtle, you know, it still affects the handling quite a bit. So especially with this long sweeper, the left-hander, turn 5 that we saw just now going into turn 8 onto the back straight, I think there's quite a lot of very, very nice overtaking opportunities and a lot of opportunities to go side by side for absolute ages.
Yeah, I think if you can give each other room, you might be okay. Now, there has been series before where this circuit has been notorious for lack of overtaking due to the fact it just ends up very liney. Obviously, coming out at turn 15 on the run down to turn 1, 2 and 3 is an opportunity. They've got quite a long straight to deal with there. But generally, the opportunities might be few and far between here, Nico. Are we looking at more mistakes that's going to be made to allow the overtakes to go through?
Yeah, I think this is one of these circuits that give you a false sense of security for sure. And I would say, the criticism of, it being very liney, it's absolutely fair, but like with most cars, they are also quite a lot bigger than what we have here. In these radicals, we have an overall width of less than 1.8 meters, which is, basically back to like 1980s car standards. The cars only weigh 725 kilos and produce a quite decent amount of downforce. So if you know how to place your car, I think, especially with these longer corners here, with quite a lot of downforce that you actually do get at speed, you are probably quite well able to run with slightly alternating lines to get out of the dirty air and then try to make moves somewhere along the lines. And it's always with this thing, obviously you're following each other in the lines. You're still far more susceptible to following other people into errors as well. And at that point, if we have people bunched up close together, then there's going to be quite a lot of attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. The first couple of times are going to come over the board. Simon Edwards, as per usual, gets out on the track first. I think that's the man's SSD that he has and puts him on there rather quickly for Simon Edwards. So absolutely amazing for him. Let's see how he gets on. Time's coming over the board. He obviously has set purples, but everybody else is out of the racetrack. Not many sectors taking place at the moment. Dan Webster's got a green. Paul May's got greens. Their fastest sectors, but as I say, this is their first lap. Let's see what Simon Edwards' time will be. 1:34.551. Webster on a 34.7. What's Paul LeMay going to get? He's just got over the line as well, 36.0. Gonzaga 34.7. Darrell Taylor's going to be coming over the line. Phil Glover's going to be coming over the line. Behind that is Bill Jocelyn, I believe, in the yellow. No, it's not. It's Graham Brown. That's actually James Barry coming over the line. What's Barry got? A 1:37.525. Fighting out in the championship is James Barry, and at the moment sitting down in 8th place.
There's still a little bit of time left, obviously, but it's almost halfway over. So in these 10 minutes, you really have to nail your laps. But I think everyone just has to get that first out lap really sorted, to get used to the session conditions. Obviously we have the cleanup for the marbles in between the sessions. So you don't have too much of a dirty line next to the racing line, but nevertheless, these guys always have to slightly readjust, always get back into that same rhythm. You also don't know if in practice they were doing some quali laps and then got back to race laps. There's still, difference in the fuel weight, especially in cars as light as these. You feel the difference in fuel quite a bit. And Simon Edwards is actually, I think, about 7/10, 8/10 almost of the time that he actually did in practice earlier. So I think we're now going to see a proper run from him. No, not quite. Some mistakes were made along the way there, I think.
Still quicker.
Oh, actually, no, never mind. Yeah. There we are.
Still quicker from him as Paul LeMay improved on his 36. No. What about Gonzaga? 35.252 slower. Luke Maxwell and Mike Bousson is out. Jumps himself up into 4th, does Mike. James Barry has got a set of purples going on the racetrack as well. This is going to be really, really close. I think this might be pole. It is pole. 34.046 for Barry. Stunning run from him. Graham Matthews come over. It's not Paul. Phil Glover. No time on the board yet for him. Off track to plenty for Phil Glover, I believe, is causing one of the problems for Phil at this moment in time, so he needs to be a little bit careful. And but at the moment, no time on the board for Phil or Josh Reed. Dan Webster, however, has got some purples over sectors 1 and 2. It's quicker than what Simon Edwards has got. Let's see, can he wrap this one up, Nico?
Looks like a very good run. Personal improvement, not an overall best, but a personal improvement in the 3rd split as well. So really, really interesting to see now where he will end up. We also know that Edwards still has a little bit more in the tank maybe, but he can't quite put it on the track right now, as we can see on the yellow intervals there right now.
Yeah, this is going to be pole position. This is going to be pole position for Dan Webster. Oh, he has had a bit of a rotten one. Oh, no!
Just barely misses out. Less than half a tenth between the front two there.
4 100ths for Dan Webster. And that was all because whatever he did in that final sector did not go down well. What about Graham Brown, the right-hander? We are aware of the track map in the top right-hand corner, guys, where the cars are going the wrong way. I have told the timing software that is still an issue that is taking place, but just to let you know, we are aware of it, okay? We're not going crazy. They do go the right way, just when they come to the start line, they go back the other way and then come back. So just bear with us.
They're just moonwalking.
Yes, well, yes, they are. But we are, as I said, we are aware there's an issue, and I have told the suppliers of the live timing software, and they are looking into it to find out what the issue is. At 1:34.661 for Luke Maxwell there as well. Josh Reed has got some greens on the board, but that's due to the fact his lap time is a 1:46.7 here for Josh. So we'll see how he's going to get on here as well. I think this could be a very, very interesting one, Nico. And I think that, how can I put it? It could be a bit of a banger.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think we can see quite a lot of very fun stuff here today, especially because, you know, this is one of the newer additions in iRacing, if I recall correctly. And, you know, so not everyone is already completely dialed in on this, especially from a series-to-series basis. As Mr. Edwards goes up and gets 100 behind Dan Webster, so they're giving each other anything right now. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, Buson's going to make an improvement. 34.989 does not move up any positions, unfortunately, for Mike. Same with Gonzaga, I believe, who stopped just before, literally before the line. There is Mike. That's Luke Maxwell going to be coming over the line next with Graham Brown and Phil Glover. Graham Matthews in there, currently sitting in 10th place at the moment. What's Luke going to be able to do as he comes over the line? There's a purple, there's a green. How far up is he going to get? What's he going to go? Yellow in the last one. It's going to be an improvement, but by how much? 34.303 does improve, and he goes over Paul LeMay. Josh Reed is another one. Dan Webster again. 2 purples on the board for Mr. Webster coming into the last part. Is he going to get the lap in? That's the problem, because he's only got 40 seconds, and he's got about 3 more corners to go.
Yeah, really last attack run that he has to do here. Dan Webster also with a slightly bad run there just now in that third split, as he's now going through the fourth. But once again, in the first 2, purple improvement. So one really has to wonder, how much more time is there on this track right now?
Can he get this last sector right? That's going to be the question. Oh, it's yellow again.
No, not quite.
Oh, he's taking pole!
He's still fast enough in the first half.
Oh, 33.998 for Dan Webster. Oh, mate, absolutely stunning. Dan Webster on pole position. James Barry pipped at the post in second. 0.047 back. Simon Edwards, 0.095 back. Paul LeMay, Luke Maxwell, George Gonzaga, Mike Buson, Josh Reed, Graham Matthews, and Graham Brown round out the top 10. Then you got Phil Clark and Darrell Taylor rounding out the 12. Then David Beasley and James McRitchie. Going to be here as well for this one. But how good of a lap was that from Mr. Webster? Pipped it right at the post.
Yeah, he really had us. He really had us there in the second half. You know, basically just thinking, okay, well, it's 2 yellows, not quite looking so great. And as soon as the timing gets renewed, well, maybe the second half of the lap wasn't that great, but the first half was, well, pretty damn good, as it seems.
Yeah, the first part was absolutely stunning. Just waiting for Mike, David Beasley and James McRitchie to get on the line. There's Graham Matthews. There is Dan Webster on pole position. It's going to be an interesting run down into that sweeping turn 1, into the tight braking of turning and braking for turn 2. How is this one all going to work here? And are they going to be able to make it all round together? So lights are going to be out. Heat number 1 is going to be up and running. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we are green for round 6, race 1 here at Navarra. And it is Dan Webster got the whole shot coming down into turn number 1. James Barry, Simon Edwards, they're in second and third. Luke Maxwell running alongside Paul LeMay. They're bit backwards and forwards. Maxwell just about. Oh, there's been an incident at the beginning. That's Webster.
That's Webster now. That was the front ejected off as well, so there must have been some contact there.
No, it's all on his own.
Oh, he just lost it and Edwards couldn't avoid him.
There's literally nowhere for Edwards to go. Cold tyres. Dan Webster, turn 3, applies the power too early. And then Simon Edwards up in the air, just nowhere for him to go whatsoever. That's opened the door for James Barry. That's opened the door for Paul LeMay, for George Gonzaga, Josh Reed, Luke Maxwell, Mike Bousson, all in the mix. Where is Dan Webster? He's all the way down the order in 12th place. Simon Edwards, hold on a minute, I'm sure his nose come flying off. Maybe not.
I think Edwards stayed on and Webster lost his. So I think in this case, Edwards was really lucky.
I'm sure I saw pink go up in the air. Or purple.
Maybe it reset, but...
Yeah, it does, there you go.
Oh no, it did. So it might have reset. Yeah, there we are. Now it goes back on.
Okay.
The radical mechanics were standing by at the trackside,
yeah.
Instantly teleported it back on and, put some duct tape on there.
Oh, Luke's getting up the inside of Josh Reed. He got the job done as well into turn 2. Oh, Mike almost followed him through. Luke locked up, carried far too much speed there. And Luke ended up locking up as well. Got 2 pockets, really. The front with Barry, Paul LeMay, Gonzaga. Then we got a second back to Maxwell, Reed and Bousson. Then we got Graham Brown, who's leading the train almost with Simon Edwards, Darrell Taylor, Phil Glover, Dan Webster and Graham Matthews, all following each other. McRitchie and Beasley did not take to the start, so we have lost them at the beginning. But some great action taking place here, and I think there's going to be more. I can't see this just ending where it has right now, Nico. I think there's going to be more chaos for across here.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, we did see just now. I think that was Edwards that lost the position there. And yeah, that was Taylor going past Edwards, because Edwards quite sideways out of turn 8, lost a lot of momentum. And Taylor took the chance, drove past on the straight, and basically made short process. But we have to keep in mind, of course, that Edwards and Webster, they are very fast here, but obviously damaged. So a damaged car, especially a damaged front end, around these corners here, mid-speed, everything. Yeah, there we are. He's sharing off into the pit lane. He has 1 fast repair for every race session, so I'm pretty sure he'll make use of that right now.
Yeah, it's got damage there. Unfortunately, Dan Webster does carry on. He's chasing down Darrell Taylor with Phil Glover, Graham Matthews in the back end of him here, coming down to that fast right-hander. Poor old Dan Webster did all the hard work in qualifying, and it just could not nail this right-hander. Applied the pressure far too early, and unfortunately the back end went round for him. So tough for Dan Webster as we pop up on to the roll bar above the driver's head at this moment in time. Going left all the way around the looping left-hander on turn 5 to turn 6. Webster trying to clear Taylor. Taylor doing a great job at this moment in time, defending. Open it up. Now,
there we are. That's the over and under. Wonderful to see into turn 8 there.
Yeah, Darrell Taylor did the right thing, but as time by tide going down there as well. They're not giving it up down into turn 9. What's Taylor going to be able to do? You got to cut it back. Oh, come back round him. No.
Still sticking around the outside, but there the distance is just, too little. Too much of a distance difference there, and that was very well done. Very nice move there with Webster, and also just very good spatial awareness. Oh, Glover. And that was right behind that action from Glover.
Yeah, he was right, tucked him right behind him as well. Gonzaga's here with Paul LeMay. And he's chasing down Paul at the moment. 1:35, 1-1 for Paul LeMay. Gonzaga there going to be tucking him if we can get hold of him now as well. This corner looks the most scariest corner I've ever seen. Braking and turning is never a good idea in a car that is not meant to do that. There's Maxwell as well. He's trying to get involved over Gonzaga around the left-hander. It's going to be turn 5 and 6 again. Where's Maxwell going to go this time? Is he going to sweep round the outside? He's not at the moment, Nico, but Maxwell putting Gonzaga under all sorts of pressure.
Maxwell also with the fastest lap of the race last time around. So definitely some speed in that car, and very, very keen to be the next Englishman to take a stab at the top 3. You can see, though, that he is under pressure, the Portuguese man, really just trying to wage his options here. Slightly staying to the inside, but not too much. Now we can see a potential overlap. Still no overlap. He pulls out of it again for the moment, just for the moment, but he's letting him know, hey, I'm here, and you're not going to be in front of me for much longer, mate.
That's the problem. And for Gonzaga, I don't want to say it's borrowed time here, but Maxwell was looking speedy. Oh, Gonzaga's got in too deep. Oh. Maxwell had an opportunity, didn't quite pop it up the inside through the left-hander of 14, coming into the right of 15. If Luke stays this close, I expect him to be having a good go by the time they get down into turn 1.
Even going a bit deeper, though, there was quite good placement by Gonzaga, because he places it just at the apex and is slow there from turn 13. But not enough that Maxwell could just dive down the inside there, because there's not enough of a gap. So, well, he's in the end costing both of them a bit of time. But Gonzaga is basically just, you know, playing poker on that.
It looks like Josh Reed has had an accident, and Mike Bousson has done something right after. So he's gone round. Oh, and he tried to miss him. Oh, Graham Brown.
Another one.
That was a little bit swift on the way through. Graham just gave him a little love tap there. And unfortunately for Josh Reed and Mike Bousson, they have ended up going round off each other. Josh went first, tagged Mike, and Mike went round after, unfortunately for him. But yeah, we're on lap 5 of 9 already. God, it's gone quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, that's just the thing, you know, with these radical races. You're really just constantly in racing action, so all of a sudden half of the race is over. You're always trying to think strategic, you know, and tactical in these racing situations, much like Luke Maxwell here. But look at that, now down the inside, has the go, and this time he can place his car on the inside there. There's the car already alongside. That Maxwell saying, thank you very much, I love you and leave you, and now I'm going to look at Paul LeMay.
Yeah, he is. He's going to move up further. Darrell Taylor looks like he's had a moment. He's dropped all the way down. He was in pole position for race number 2. Don't forget it's the top 10 reverse. You see Webster crawling all over Graham Brown. Whoa! I think that is a man who just lost sight of his braking point at that moment in time. Webster now trying to break away from Brown. He's got 8 seconds to Gonzaga, who's got half a second, 4 attempts to Luke Maxwell. I don't think Webster's going to be able to get there over 3 laps. I know how quick he is, but I don't think he's quite that quick here either. So I think Webster's going to be fighting out. Josh Reed has caught up to the back of Graham Brown as well. Bousson a little bit further back. That at the moment has put Phil Glover pole position for race number 2. Graham Matthew, oh dearie me, coming into turn number 1, braking and turning for 2, and then coming into 3. And where have we seen that before?
I think that was on the downshift. You know, these these sequential gearboxes, when you're shifting down the middle, it can be a bit rough. And ooh, there's the counter. There's the counter from Gonzaga. It's not quite yet over. Oh, but they're actually leaving quite a lot of space there as well. So is he now going to go for an over and under? Maybe. No, not quite. Actually later on the brakes than Maxwell, but sticks around the outside. Maxwell now on the another outside. Both of them now through a faster corner into the final corner. And I think Maxwell stays ahead for now. But look at that. Slightly more acute point at the apex. And now comes the run into turn 1, down the front stretch with a lot of slipstream. Look at that closing speed.
Yeah, Gonzaga's going to have a go at the inside. Can he hold it this time? That's going to be the question. Maxwell's going to be in there as well. He's taken a tighter line. That means Maxwell's on our outside. He is. Luke's going to try the cutback going into the left-hander of turn 5. Is he going to be able to get it? He's not. He's tucked in right behind him at the moment, where these guys have been fighting backwards and forwards, and around turn 5 he goes. Maxwell goes in quite a bit hotter, but he's going to bring him out on the exit. He has brought him out on the exit. Where did he go? He lifted Nico. He had nowhere to go. He carried so much speed, and then all of a sudden Gonzaga was still there.
Just flew all the way into his back like a Saturn V rocket, and then well, I think he expected him to go out a bit further, but Gonzaga anticipated that. And now, while these two are fighting, you know, defensive and offensive moves, they are holding each other up quite a bit. Last lap, as we looked at this point, we had Webster 8 seconds back. Now it's 5.4.
There's 2 laps to go, though. I don't know if that's going to be enough.
No, not necessarily, but, you know, just to point it out here, how much they are costing each other time. But it's just the lengths that you go to, you know, when you're in this fight for position. It's the last podium slot, and both of them are going, well, this is mine, obviously.
Oh! Where is he?
Yes.
There he goes.
We both sounded as if we were going to start singing about a sponge that lives in a pineapple under the sea.
Yeah.
Oh,
the problem was we both
outside.
saw him coming at us, and there was like, where is he? He's gone. He's still trying the outside line for Maxwell into turn 3. Now he's coming back at him again. They've only got 2 more laps. Webster's coming. He's just in the background. I don't think he's got enough to get near these guys. But I can tell you what, these two have been non-stop all the way through. Josh Reed having a battle further back with Graham Brown. Darrell Taylor battling with Phil Glover. Graham Matthews looks like he's just had another moment. Simon Edwards, believe it or not, is sitting in pole position for the next race. Graham Matthews is now sitting in pole position. He's just overtaken Phil Glover. So there's action all the way back through the field, and it's non-stop here. Darrell Taylor, Phil Glover and Graham Matthews are fighting over this pole position for race number 2, and at the moment that's held by Mr. Matthews here.
Absolutely, and I think that's always something that you really look forward to for the feature race. You know, being in pole position there, because, well, quite frankly, you can just make everyone else's life a living hell. Just sitting in front for the first couple of corners if you nail the start. And even though, it's not quite over yet, I think, because Paul Glover still looks quite happy to fight there.
They're almost going up the inside.
Sorry, Phil.
I was going to say, what did you call him, Paul?
You called him Paul earlier.
Oh, I did not. Did I? No.
Yes, you did.
Prove it. Never. If I ever got a link, it didn't happen.
Stream highlights.
Josh Reed is on his way down now over the line. He's going to come down once again. He's going to try going around the outside of Graham Brown this time. Through turn 2, he's carried a lot of speed. They're almost touching. Oh, breathe it in, boys.
Wheel to wheel, both of them leaving each other space. And still side by side for the next one. He's on the inside. Makes it past. Wonderful. Wonderful move there.
Got through on that one. And these guys now. Taylor! Oh, big snap. He manages to hold it, but I can tell you what, this is going to be a battle and a half for this final pole position spot for this 10th place. Graham Matthews, Phil Glover, maybe not Darrell Taylor now, but your leader, James Barry, is coming around turn 12. He's got 3 more corners to go before he wins race number 1. And I want to see if this is going to materialise, but we'll pick up on James Barry. Not really a lot to say. He got through lap 1 chaos, and that was it. Off he went.
It went perfectly for him, essentially. You know, his main rival and, well, absolutely stunning pole position setter, Dan Webster, who actually recovered back to 5th place. So after that catastrophic start, a really good run from him.
Here he
Both
goes.
of them out after turn 1, but
James Barry wins race number 1. Paul LeMay wins the number 2. Mr. Gonzaga, you are not over the line. Be aware on that one. 3. Maxwell comes over the line. Right, what's going on down here? Graham Matthew is still in 10th. Where did Phil go?
I think that might have been a big lockup. That was 1.3 seconds that he lost. Actually, no, he's completely gone. That's Taylor. Oh.
Is he out of fuel?
Oh, no. I think he's basically just coasting back on stationary. Yeah, I think that sounds very much like running back on fumes.
Oh, Phil.
Who was it again at Road Atlanta last season? I think it was Luke Maxwell that gave everyone fuel advice and then didn't follow it himself. He actually fueled enough, and then two of his teammates basically started running out.
Yeah, they all started running out, didn't they? But this is where Darrell Taylor passed him. Oh, he chundles off wide and then never really gets going again. Oh, okay, flickers forward. So let's bring you up the results for race number 1. And James Barry takes that victory. Paul LeMay in second. George Gonzaga in third place. Then we got Luke Maxwell, Dan Webster, who recovered back to fifth. Josh Reed, Graham Brown, Mike Bousson, Simon Edwards ninth. Going to be on the front row. Graham Matthews alongside him on pole. Darrell Taylor in 11th. Phil Glover 12th. Then obviously David Beasley and that did not finish on that one. I'm going to do my customary thing and pull in Mr. Glover and find out what went wrong on the final lap there. Phil, what happened?
Well, I just overshot into a right-hand bend. They're probably one of the most important bends because you got a long straight after it. So, yeah, after that I just tried to calm myself down, just take a slow drive around and contemplate the next race.
So it wasn't you running out of fuel then?
No, it's just me thinking I'm last, so there's no point in rushing around.
Oh, okay, mate. No worries. How do you think race 2 is going to go?
A bit better than race 1, hopefully.
Well, I'm hoping that as well, Phil. I've got to be honest, but you know, just.
I mean, my pace was okay in practicing. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, I've done 135. So, but I don't know. Don't know what happened really.
All right, mate. Well, listen, you haven't got long left of practice, dude. Good luck, and see how far you can get up on that second race for me.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, James. See you later.
Take care. That's our customary chat with Phil Glover, who sits there in the interview room and allows us to pull him in between races. Well, there was some good racing, but Barry, I think, at the front now could do with a little bit more challenging, but we are going to have Simon Edwards on the front row.
Yeah, 100%, and we're also going to have our pole sitter from the first race, Dan Webster, sitting further up in the front. So I think James Barry will have quite a bit more of a challenge now, as long as everyone keeps it together. And that's the, big if.
Yeah, I agree. Graham Matthews will be on pole position alongside Simon Edwards and Mike Bousson in third, Graham Brown in fourth. Then you got Josh Reed, Dan Webster, Luke Maxwell, George Gonzaga, Paul LeMay and James Barry. Barry's got some fast cars to try and come through. Then you're going to have Darrell Taylor and Phil Glover, David Beasley and also James McRitchie not taking to the start here. So stay tuned for race number 2. It's a 15-lapper here. And we'll see how these guys get on. And can Graham Matthews get this car off pole position? I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is Matthews' first time on pole for race number 2.
Now the first time is always the scariest one.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's that first time you do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Your head's on a swivel in all the mirrors, and then you're realizing, oh wait, hold on, start lights.
Yeah, just waiting for no Dan Webster. No Dan Webster. Where is he? 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we are green, green, green. No Webster for race number 2. Oh, dearie me. Graham Matthews has got to start. Edwards there as well, sitting in second. Mike Bousson in third. Matthews is going to take the whole shot, going around turn 1 into 2. Don't be scared, Graham. You can't be scared. You're going to get freight trained. And he is at the moment. Edwards has gone through. Bousson has gone through. Matthews now down at third. Josh Reed up 1 place. Jason Phil Glover up 3. With Dan Webster out on the circuit at this moment in time. But he's all the way back, just coming into 5, while these are going in through 6. So whatever happened with Webster, he missed the start and come out the pit lane there. But I can tell you what, Simon Edwards did what he had to do. He got past Graham Matthews. Matthews almost got kind of bullied out of the scenario here, I think, Nico. And then it's just basically Edwards all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, unfortunate run for Webster there. Probably just missed the start with some turn of events. And Maxwell against Barry against Gonzaga. Two of these guys we've seen fighting last race, but Maxwell is thinking, well, you're basically in the same livery, so I can pull the same moves against you. And, well, he's pulling some moves all right.
There he is. I think he's got the pace to James Barry. I really do. I think Luke can hold him as much as he possibly can. Yeah, there goes Darrell Taylor. Luke again, now going to have the outside line for the final run. They're going to be side by side continuously here. Lou Maxwell, James Barry are going to be side by side again. Where is he? Oh, he's slotted in behind us, is James Barry. Slotted in behind. I am surprised by that. I thought he would have had a go. No, they are still side by side. Where was he when I went there? Oh, huh?
Maybe a slight desync there for a moment on the onboard, but yeah, I mean, Maxwell carried a little bit more momentum, you know, could straighten out a little bit better in the final corner as they went over the crest. And, you know, Barry has to be a lot more careful, obviously, on the throttle there, because the track goes off camber, takes a little bit of weight off the rear axle, and then you can very, very quickly spin it around. But let me tell you, all of this helped a certain start misser to keep up, and, well, actually pass it right back to their back there.
Yeah, and we've got 15 laps to do it as well. He's gained 1 place because obviously with Darrell Taylor making a mistake, Simon Edwards out in front, Matthews still holding his own in third. He's got Graham Brown closing in though, Luke Maxwell, Barry, Gonzaga. If he can stay along in front of them for a good period of time, he might be all right to hold on to this position because he doesn't want to get freight train through. But everybody fighting, Paul LeMay's in there, Josh Reed, Phil Glover's a little bit further back, Dan Webster, puff of smoke there. Puff of smoke, I think that might have been Matthews. And he's going to try and hold that inside line. Barry's going to come alongside. Almost a little bit of contact there with Graham Matthews and James Barry. There is the insert name E-Racing Team alongside us at the moment, going down into turn 1. How is this with Matthews? He's got to hold that outside line. Is he going to be able to hold it all the way around past the second bit? Now is he going to cut back on him? He's taken, he went in too deep. Loses 2 places, Nico, on that one for Graham Matthews.
Yeah, quite unlucky there. I mean, obviously, Maxwell gave him the slipstream down the front straight to try and keep him as a buffer between him and Barry. But, of course, you know, in this situation, you're racing against the championship leaders, against race winners, you know, against guys who've been in this series for quite a while. And, yeah, Matthew, obviously, you know, a certain level of nervosity, I think, in there. So I'd rather give a little bit too much space rather than too little.
I think these guys, that's the thing, I think they've been very, very respectful all the way through. Yeah. They've known each other for absolute years, and there's a big lock up in front. That is Buisson. That's a big lock up from Mike Buisson there. As we go on to the front right of Luke Maxwell, tucking in behind Graham Brown at this moment in time. You can see this looming machine here coming in behind Graham Brown, just tucked down by the rear wing joint mount. There is Luke getting very, 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 very close. Over the final corner we go. This is going to be Maxwell's opportunity, I think, here. Is it going to be the one that's going to be able to get him in front? No, that's going to be the question. 34.564. He does go and rocket past Graham Brown. Luke Maxwell moves himself up into third.
Yeah, really good run there. Kept it completely there, but very, very deep. Both actually ran deep, and that allowed James Barry to slot through as well. So no matter what Maxwell does, you know, he keeps overtaking, keeps going for quick moves. He can never really get away from James Barry, it seems.
Yeah, Darrell Taylor has unfortunately looked like he's made another mistake there for poor old Darrell. And he's dropped down the order now, sitting in last place. We've got Gonzaga chasing down on Brown. We've got Paul LeMay chasing down on Josh Reed. And but all the while, we've got this man 4.5 seconds up the road, doing what he does best, leading from the front, getting the job done for Simon Edwards, and an incredible job he is doing as well. Some great racing taking place at this moment in time. So, yeah, so Mike Busson, Maxwell and Barry are going to be the next one into a battle.
And Busson, of course, he doesn't want to fight against his own teammate too much, and I think if they can find a way to swap around, and then for Busson to try and instead fight Barry a little bit more, they will do that. But as we saw, that those swaps, or well, those attempts at creating a barrier between those two guys in 3rd and 4th place, it hasn't gone too well so far, to say the least.
Definitely hasn't, but this is going to be a free car run down into turn 1, and keeping an eye on Gonzaga and also Brown further back. Maxwell makes that inside line. The Team Radline boys are almost going to block the road off. No, not at the moment. They didn't run side by side. Graham Brown and Gonzaga goes deep into that corner again for them, but Mike Busson lost 2 places and is now dropped down into 4th here for Mike. Is he going to be able to get alongside James Barry again? Not this time. Maxwell's going to try and go after Edwards here. That's going to be an interesting one. Gonzaga and Brown are literally touching near enough each other here as well, Nico. They're getting very, very close indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. So battles all the way down through the field again. We also have Reed and LeMay right behind that. We have Webster catching up to Matthew. Oh, and that's a big lock up there. That is Gonzaga missing his braking mark completely, and I hope that it didn't hit the car in front too hard. Let's have a see. Whee! Okay, barely missed him, but well, that front right tire is definitely.
Reed also suffered as well.
Yep.
Now Mike Busson's at a moment. Oh, Mike. It's going to be one of them half awkward spins for Busson. There you go.
Yeah.
Got to get it on his bike, mate. You got to get it on his bike. They're coming. Graham Brown is coming now as well. We're there with Gonzaga 1.4 seconds back. He's got Reed for company. Here, George Gonzaga, is he going to be able to make it round here? Reed's going to try and run him on the outside of turn 1. He's got to go break it. Oh, no. Nope, there you go. Back.
Into transmission.
Yeah, Paul LeMay comes back at him there as well. You can see Dan Webster now on the back. He's just gone past Graham Matthews. He's looking to gain some points as much as he can here for Dan. Missed the start completely, ended up starting from the pit lane. And now he's sitting in 9th on a last to first challenge. But Paul LeMay and Josh Reed side by side on the exit of turn 7.
Yeah, just not a great day so far for Dan Webster. I mean, definitely a great recovery drive day, but, after a pole position and a better starting position and then missing that start, yeah, I can sense some frustration behind the wheel, but that's frustration instead of sloppiness that shows in pace, because he's doing quite a good recovery drive. He was, I think, 5 seconds back when he started from the pit lane and now already back up in 9th place. But we are almost halfway done with the race as well. So, he has to get a move on if he wants to get some more points.
Yeah, this race has gone very quick here. 1:34 lap times. It's not going to take very long whatsoever. Simon Edwards, however, is on that Sunday drive and has driven away out in front by nearly 6 seconds. For Luke Maxwell, he has not shifted James Barry yet, and is trying as much as he can here. Barry's got this track nailed. Maxwell's got the track nailed. Is currently doing a stellar job for both of these drivers once more. Fastest lap of the race, Simon Edwards 34.191, Maxwell's 34.3, Barry's 34.2. Not a big disparity, mind you, about half a second between the two drivers here as well. And Barry's looking very quick, Maxwell's looking very quick. Are we going to see one of them stalemates where neither can get past each other? Oh,
yeah, we might. And oh, that is Brown spinning around. So I'm wondering whether that went, well, still on the brakes or in the acceleration zone there.
Yeah, I think he does what he does. And then Phil Glover does something not too far behind that, I think. Oh, you're a long way out there, bud. Yep. And then Phil kind of comes around the corner. I don't know if he scares himself. Oh no, he practically does the same thing.
Whee. Yeah, so I think they basically just distracted each other there, going off on different ends of the circuit.
I think Phil saw the smoke and was like, uh-oh. So...
Watch this.
Yeah, I can do it better than you. So there we go. Barry's ducked in behind Maxwell once more. Lap 8 of 15. Edwards 34.143. Maxwell 34.487. 34.480 for Barry. So Maxwell doing a stunning job at this moment in time. Holding. Barry's gonna. Oh, I thought he was gonna go round there. That car looked very, very squirrely. In through turn 4, coming into 5 now. Has Barry got the pace to get past Maxwell, do we think?
I definitely think that could be a possibility. But, well, Luke Maxwell knows how to place the car here. He knows how to attack and defend in this situation. And right now, he knows exactly from practice with Barry's teammate, actually, how to defend quite nicely as well, even though he lost that duel in the end, in the last sprint. But... well, it's working right now, so, you know, what more could he want? Meanwhile, I think, Simon Edwards is going to be thanking his lucky stars, because after, all that chaos in the first round, he's now going to be in a quite comfortable win, so in the same position that Barry was in the last race, except with more points for the winner, a bigger gap to be built up, therefore, and if he was lucky in that opening couple of laps, then that could be 3 bonus points, because of course, 3 bonus points to any driver who finishes the race without any iRacing incident points and complete at least 75%.
The iRacing incident points have been taken out.
Ah, okay, fair enough. It was still on the website.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think it's been updated, but it's, the iRacing incident points have been taken out. There will be no bonus points because they felt that they caused too much of a problem last season, so they've taken them out for this one. I guess, and they've just not updated the website. Barry's still going at each other. Buson leading Gonzaga with Webster, LeMay and Reed very close together. Lap 9 of 15, 6 laps to go here. Edwards still out in front, doing a stellar job by 6.5 seconds. Looks like Graham Matthews has had another bit of a moment, and Webster's looking up the inside.
Down the inside.
Yeah, Gonzaga. Job done coming into turn 6. Webster's looking swift and mighty here, but got it all wrong.
Very deep now.
Yeah, and now Gonzaga's got through.
Yeah, got back through, reclaimed the position, and LeMay is now all over the back as well. So we have almost a 5-way battle for position 4. Even though Buson, after that move, he managed to get a little bit of a comfort gap. But as soon as these guys, settle back into just chasing him, I think that comfort gap isn't going to last too long.
Yeah, I think Gonzaga could be under deep pressure from Webster here. Depends if Buson can get up the road, or is he going to get dragged back into this battle on lap 9? Edwards coming over the line to start lap 10. He's not driving into oncoming traffic. If you're looking at the track map wondering what is going on, as I explained earlier on, we are aware there was an error on that track map, and that will be resolved. But James Barry feels like he's been following Luke Maxwell for absolutely ages.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's 100% if he can't make him move, or if he's maybe waiting a little bit, but I think it's more that right now he can't, because, you see exactly where Maxwell's placing his car in the middle there, always right in front of Barry, then slows down a little bit at the apex, tries to play a little bit of cat and mouse, and then run away again. But I think at that point, you have to switch it up a little bit with your tricks, because I think Barry's getting used to them, and obviously right now he's going to be looking, well, you're not the man I want to fight right now. The man I want to fight is almost 7 seconds ahead at this point. So I at least want to minimize the damage I'm taking here, because of course, second place is 35 points, and third place is 31, so it's a loss of 5 points versus 9 points that he's taking right now.
Yeah. The trouble is for Barry, he can't get past Maxwell.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter what Barry thinks or where he wants to be. He's got to try and clear Maxwell. Buson has gone round.
Well, did he have help though, or was that maybe just a little bit of a spin on acceleration?
Got to be all on his own.
Yeah, that was too far in front. Yeah, just too hot in there, and yeah, I'm guessing maybe upshifted a little bit too early. Clutch locks up the rear tires, and yeah.
Unfortunately, he has gone round. That's put Barry still in third. Gonzaga's still in fourth. Gonzaga chasing down Buson. Barry, sorry, chasing down Maxwell. Gonzaga trying to get away from Webster, who's looking very swift on his recovery. And once more, he still can't get past. Gonzaga holds on to Webster, Paul LeMay and Reed. Then we've got Graham Brown and Phil Glover starting to come close together further back. So they're going to be meeting each other very, very shortly indeed. What can Barry do here? In a realistic manner, what is he going to be able to do over Luke Maxwell?
Well, either way, he can keep pushing. At some point, you can make a crack in the defense, and it starts maybe with a lockup. It starts with, slightly out of place. It starts with too much of aggressive defensive movement. And, then just losing momentum. But he has to build these cracks. And right now, Luke Maxwell seems more stable than the Berlin Wall when it was freshly built, I have to say.
Yep. Unless Maxwell's going to make an awful error, I don't know if James Barry's going to be able to get through here. Because Maxwell is looking very, very, as you say, comfortable on this one, isn't he, at the moment? And that's the problem for Luke Maxwell. Well, not a problem for Luke Maxwell, a problem for James Barry on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that Barry knows for sure. Like last lap again, just over a tenth slower. He can constantly catch up again, of course. Slipstream is quite strong in these cars. A lot of downforce creates a lot of drag, but again, he's trying to go for the over and under, and then there's just Maxwell's car parked on the apex, basically as if he just went shopping to town instead. So, Maxwell just knows where to put the car to stay ahead for the moment, and that's all he has to do right now.
Yeah. He's just got to keep putting it in the same place and see if he can frustrate Barry. Lap 12. It's not got many more under his belt. Neither is Webster, neither is Gonzaga, neither is LeMay. Question will be, can Webster get up alongside? Is he able to do anything over Gonzaga here?
Yeah, he attacked earlier, but with a little bit of overzealous effort. So, he definitely has the pace. He just has to find a way to use it to get past Gonzaga and make it stick this time. But, one thing that I want to say, as we are almost done with our feature race here, I think the feared lack of overtaking definitely hasn't come true. We had some very, very fun moves to look at here.
Yeah, I fully agree. Webster again, still tucked in behind Gonzaga. Gonzaga's just unfortunately, all he's seeing is that of down Webster.
Light lock up. He gets so close there.
He went in a little bit hot there. He went in a little bit hot to Gonzaga. You can see Barry and Maxwell side by side. This is for second. I don't think... No, Barry had to take the tyre line. Webster and Gonzaga's in the same situation. Gonzaga's going to have to take the tyre line. Is he going to be able to squeeze? Webster, he is. Where's Webster going to be on the exit? No, he still can't get past him.
What a battle, and that's what both positions at the same time, for second and for fourth. Really, really good running here. But Webster, well, we had the counterpoints there. Maxwell managed to make it stick around the outside, and Webster couldn't make it stick to overtake around the outside. So, yeah, really tough, of course, to get the momentum down. And I think Webster just went a little bit too deep around the apex, and then couldn't carry that momentum anymore.
Yeah. Maxwell, still, these two, and the other two just continue to fight. Barry's got to try and dive up the last core. He's going to come back. He's going to come back at him.
These guys are getting so close to each other. That's fantastic to watch.
Oh, he's made a mistake. He's going to tuck in now as well. Is this going to be Barry's moment? his one opportunity. Lou Maxwell's there. Barry's gone their way down. They're going to be almost hitting terminal velocity at the moment in time. Barry manages to hold on, I think. Has he held on? No, Maxwell's not giving up. He is not giving up. He's going to take the wider line. Now he tries to get underneath him. Barry did get the job done. Gonzaga and Webster, same scenario. Gonzaga holding the line. Webster tucked in, LeMay tucked in, Reed's in there as well. And we've only got one more lap of this to take place.
Yeah, one more lap after this one. And I don't think anyone's going to stop fighting anytime soon. But I think that was the crack that Barry had basically been building for the better part of the last 10 laps. So, yeah, that was 40 kilometers in the making. But, well, virtue comes to those that are patient. And there we are. That's, yeah, Luke Maxwell, I think, slightly overcooking his tires as well to keep defending and then trying to counter again. But nevertheless, a fantastic fight from him, a fantastic run to keep fighting for that long.
Yeah.
Now the question is James Barry's teammate going to have the same fortune? Or is he going to crumble against Webster and LeMay behind him? And Webster actually crumbles instead.
Yeah.
Tried to power slide it out of there, just a little bit too much curb.
Yeah, watch again. You can see what he does. He bounces the curb on the inside.
Now he's already sideways before that, and then gets even more exaggerated, I think.
Graham Brown, Phil Glover. Edwards comes over the line, final lap of the race. He's heading into 5. Barry is, I would say, clear of Maxwell, but he's only 6 tenths back. Gonzaga is now opened up a gap to Mr. Paul LeMay, but it does look like Simon Edwards is going to take race number 2. Barry's going to grab second, and Maxwell, I think, is going to grab third. And I believe, as you are right, he may have just cooked his tyres a little bit, but this is not done coming through turn 5 and 6.
Yeah, 100%. Paul LeMay might be trying to look into making a move still, because that was a very, very good line through 6 and 7. Shrinking the gap down to 4 tenths now, to less than 4 tenths, but he's running out of, well, a lap. First half of the lap is over, now the second half is a bit tighter. He has to hit all the marks here to make a move. And I think Gonzaga might have this, if he just stays error-free.
Yeah, Simon Edwards is coming over the line. He's coming around the final corner. He's going to take the victory in race number 2. Simon Edwards does a stunning job. Over the line he goes now. And he wraps up the win here in race number 2. James Barry grabs second. Edwards does the fastest lap on the final lap. Maxwell comes over in third. Gonzaga looks like he's going to hang on for that 4th over Paul LeMay and Josh Reed as these guys come over the line. Great job. Again, George, you've got to go further down. There we go. I swear he'll do that one day. He'll get overtaken before the line. What about Graham Brown and Phil Glover? Well, it looks like Glover's going to hold on for a top 10. Brown is in behind him. Matthews down in 8th in the end. Webster come over the line in 7th. So some great action taking place all the way through this race, I think we can safely say. And didn't disappoint once more. But let's bring you up the results of the feature, and then we'll give the drivers a couple of minutes to get into the interview waiting room. But Simon Edwards is your winner. James Barry in second. Oh, excuse me. In second, Luke Maxwell in third. George Gonzaga in 4th. Paul LeMay 5th. Then Josh Reed 6th. Dan Webster down in 7th. Graham Matthews 8th. Phil Glover 9th. Graham Brown 10th. Then Mike Bousel and Darrell Taylor did not finish the race. David Beasley and James McRitchie did not take to the start. But we can have a chat. Right. Start off our day by having a chat with Mr. Phil Glover. Phil, welcome in, bud. How are you?
I'm okay, James. Yeah. It was hard work, that.
Yeah.
Let me just log out of iRacing because I can't hear you properly. Just give me 1 second, James. Okay, I can hear you now, pal.
Yeah. How was it then, dude?
It's a really tricky track. If you get offline, you pick up dust, which really doesn't help. It's very easy to spin out. I guess one of my challenges is I run with, and people might say, well, how's that a disadvantage? But I often run with Simon's setups, and he's so much finesse on throttle and brake that he can manage it. But for me, it's often a bit of a challenge if the track's a bit hard work. So, but I managed to keep Graham behind me in the end, so that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. You and Graham having a nice little battle further down as well. Going forward, Phil, we're on to another tricky circuit next week. It's the Algarve International Circuit.
Whoa. Okay. Suntan cream for that one then?
Possibly, mate. It could be very hot, I think, yes. But it'll be interesting to see.
In VR.
Yeah, especially in VR and a motion sim that's going to rattle your teeth out. So let's see how you get on that one, mate. But listen, it's been good. You got a top 10 in race number 2. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty smooth tonight, apart from the curbs. They've got 3D curbs on now, and that really gives you a good shaking, doesn't it?
It definitely does, mate. But listen, you did a great job anyway on that one. Is there anyone you want to shout out, Phil, before we let you go?
Gosh, I'm struggling to think. But everybody who knows me, how about that?
That works for me, buddy.
Who knows me and likes me.
Oh, yeah, a different story, isn't it? After that one. You know what I mean? I'm in the same boat, mate. Loads of people know me, but don't mean they all like me. So there we go. But listen, Phil, have a good one, bud. We'll see you next week.
See you in Portugal.
Take care.
Cheers, then. Bye.
Right, let's start off with the 3-2-1 with Mr. Luke Maxwell, who fought so hard. It was like a time-travelled boxer defending like a trooper from the young gun that is Mr. Barry. And then once Barry got through, it looked like Luke just didn't have a lot to keep up with him as well. Were tyres a factor? Well, let's find out. He's in the booth. Luke, welcome in, bud.
Hello, guys. How we doing?
I'm all right, mate.
Yeah, I struggled with the tyres. Didn't like the track. The rears, particularly for me. Yeah, I had to really change the setup to get something that was, even slightly stable, and even then it was tricky. So and James is, he's got a slightly different style. He carries a bit more apex speed. So whereas I'm very much, kind of slow in, fast out, I suppose. So yeah, it made for an interesting race. It was good fun. Yeah, especially coming down into turn 1, turn 2. I imagine there were quite a few almost moves, repasses and things that went on. So it was good.
Difficult corner, that turn 1, though, isn't it?
It's a nightmare. Yeah, nightmare.
The turn 2 is kind of almost a brake and trying to steer at the same time, and that's never ever easy. Did you think you could hold on to James for the end of the race?
I wasn't sure. I thought maybe I could. Started to make a couple of mistakes, and I wasn't sure how committed he'd be. But then, obviously, with a few laps to go, I could see he was fully committed, to trying to get past. So yeah, it was a good battle. I was hoping I could kind of stick with him and get another, go at him, but he pulled a second on me in no time, really. So he was definitely quicker through the slow stuff than me. So yeah, and I was getting good exits at the start towards the. On the start-finish straight, but I think soon he was up behind me there, and I had slightly less wing, so I was trying to think I need the straight line speed, but yeah, once you get in the tow with these cars, it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is there, bud, as well. Well, we're heading off to Portugal for the Algarve next week. What's the feeling on that one?
I don't even know if I own it. I don't think I've driven it. It's a cracking track, so yeah, I'll better get some practice in at the weekend, I guess.
All right, mate. Well, good luck on that, and look forward to seeing you then. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Oh, it's got to be Dan Webster on it, poor bloke. Running race 1. He had good pace as well. His quali lap was awesome. So yeah, give a shout out to Dan, I think.
Oh, mate, awesome stuff. Well, look, thanks so much there, buddy, and look forward to seeing you on Monday.
Cheers, guys.
Take care, mate. Right, next up, let's bring in Mr. James Barry, who's won race number 1 and then spent most of race 2 following the orange machine of Team Radline. Could he get through? Could he not? Well, let's have a chat with him here as well. James, welcome in, bud. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm quite happy after that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Luke gave you a mission for race number 2, didn't he?
Yeah, I certainly had to get inventive in the end. Really interesting track for racing, and one where it's very difficult to be consistent. So I was just trying to force him into whatever errors I could. I think I hopefully caught him by surprise in the end of the move that I made that ended up getting us side by side and getting me past in the end. So yeah, definitely had to be creative.
Well, you definitely did there, so you didn't have a lot of option, I don't think, unfortunately, for that one. But you went out and took race number 1. Difficult to get past everybody being in that 10th place?
No, most people it wasn't too difficult. It was just Luke really. There was we were side by side for like half the lap earlier in the race, and then obviously for the rest of the race just trying to get past him. So when there's someone on equal pace, then yeah, it's really tough here.
Yeah, it definitely was as well. Going forward into the Algarve in Portugal, how do you feel about that one?
I've only driven that track in like Project Cars 2 or something, so I need to buy that track, give it a go. It's going to be good fun. I mean, we see it in F1, or we've seen it in F1, and I think that you can be really creative with the lines there. That's going to be really good in the feature race as well, I think. So it should be good fun.
Oh, man, awesome stuff. Well, James, thanks so much for joining us there, bud. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Shout out Luke for really good racing there.
Awesome. Well done, mate. Take care then, buddy, and I'll see you next week.
Yep, see you. Thank you, bye.
Before we go into our leader, we do have Mr. Paul LeMay in the booth here. Finished in 9th, I believe, on race number 1, and then battled his way back +4 into 5th place. I don't think that's right, actually, to be blatantly honest, because he can't have been in 9th, can you?
2nd, mate.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've even got it written down on my bit of paper. Oh, you donut. I was reading the timing screen, mate, and it clearly confused me a little bit on that one as well. I was like, how did he get up there?
Standards are slipping, aren't they?
Getting old, mate, you know. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Getting old, losing the old marbles.
I know, mate. I know.
Waking up with new pains every day, mate, and thinking that one went there yesterday.
That's it.
But there you go. Listen, all right, let's try that one again. 2nd in race number 1. Not bad at all. Tough coming through in race number 2.
Yeah. I tried to stick with James in race 1, but yeah, he's just in on another planet. So yeah, it was just sort of managing and trying to hold on to 2nd and just keeping the gap. I think it was George behind me. I'm not sure, but race 2 was really good fun. It's just a shame Dan spun out. It was great fun, really was, and George was driving superb.
Yeah, Dan unfortunately had a rotten turn number 1.
Yeah.
Gutted. I'm for him on that one. He's driving so well, and then it all just kind of unravelled after that for him.
Yeah, he's flying tonight.
Yeah, he definitely was. Going forward, we're off to Algarve.
Yeah, it looks good. I've done a few laps there. Looks like it's going to be fun. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Could be a good one. How's the arm?
Really struggled in race 2. I'm I'm really struggling. So I just one of those things, you know.
Dude, I know. Trust me, I know. It's we just live with what we live with on that one. Paul, thank you so much for joining me, bud. It's always a pleasure having a chat. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, Dan. He was really flying tonight, and it was a great battle in race 2, and it's just a real shame he spun out. But yeah, shout out to Dan.
Yeah, I do agree on that one, Paul. Well done, mate. Well, look forward to seeing you Sunday.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Kota.
Yeah, it should be a good one, I think, on that one, mate. Yeah. Right, have a good one, pal, and I'll see you Sunday.
Right, okay, take care now.
Take care, bye. Right, and then the final interview of the night is one Mr. Simon Edwards. Caught up in a little bit of drama. Lap 1, turn 1. Damaged his car, dropped him down into 9th, got the front row for race number 2, and then just whizzed away like a scolded cat, did Simon Edwards, to take that victory. But let's welcome him in. Simon, welcome in, bud. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad at all. Listen, race 1, turn 1, not really a lot anybody could do about that.
No, I didn't even see him spinning because my view was blocked with James, so literally I just ran into him, but I don't think I touched the brakes before I hit him.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
I welcomed him the other week as well. Says, "Welcome back, Dan," and then Dan kills me.
Yeah, I know. He had a rotten night as well. He drove so well in qualifying, absolute barnstorming lap time, and then it just all goes wrong in the opening corner, and then race 2 weren't much better for him on that one. But then, I suppose, good fortune put you on second row, jumped Graham Matthews, and off you went. And that was it. That was the end of you.
Yeah, I was going to try and hold on with the damage, but I was just going to fall back. So I took the chance of going in the pits and seeing if anybody else fell back, and that's what happened. So, yeah, I got lucky with that.
You definitely did, mate, because then it put you in and then you just ran away and took the victory. Does it get boring driving out in front like that on your own?
I just put the optimal delta up, and I was just driving to a delta. So the track is not too bad to hot lap on, because it's quite challenging and quite technical. So it's my sort of track, speed wise. So it could have been more exciting, but you know, I'll take the points. It'll be a drop week for me right now, but it might be not a terrible drop week later, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it might save me.
Yeah, it might do, mate. Going on to Algarve next week there, bud.
Yeah, I don't think I've done that one either, because this is new to me as well. I've only had really yesterday as a proper practice. So, yeah, I can't remember doing Algarve before.
All right, mate. Well, you're not the only one, mate. Luke, James, Phil, and Paul have not all done a lot of laps, so you're all in the same boat at this moment there, bud, as well. But thank you so much for joining us, Simon. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Well, let's give a shout out to Dan's pole position there. Only man who got in the 33s.
Yeah, he is as well. It's so unlucky. I feel so sorry for him there as well, for Dan. But Simon, thank you so much there, buddy, for joining us, and look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you then.
Take care, mate. Well, there you go, Nico. Happy drivers in the end of the day. Dan Webber's getting a lot of love on shout-outs due to his amazing qualifying, but a rotten race.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate how it hit him, but nevertheless, I think, you know, everyone can be relatively satisfied. You know, Dan obviously on a bit of a shorter straw, but with the pace he showed today, I think he can still be quite proud of himself. And, you know, definitely be better with better luck next week in Algarve, you know, just pretty much going across the peninsula to Portugal. And, yeah, going to be on the roller coaster of emotions and a quite literal roller coaster to drive.
Yeah, you are 100% right. Welcome in, Phil, as well. I have seen you popped in at the end there, but you've unfortunately going to wrap this one up for us here as well. Well, thanks so much for coming along and having some fun with us at Navarra. Join us later on. We've got 2 broadcasts a little bit later. We've got the Sim Car Penguin Simulation GT3 Round 2 going out from circuit now, Zandvoort. And then we've got myself and Dara Facker on the Niles Virtual Modern Sports Car Championship going out for the 1.2 hours of Road Atlanta. So if you're a bit of a night out and you are up, come and join us for that one. But if not, we'll see you next time on Saturday. We've got the 100 laps of Road Atlanta there for the VWSC Modern Series. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Nico Hillebrand. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.